excitement is literally tangible in so many chats and on the team. It's just amazing to see how you guys are investing in yourself. I think that's my new way of describing it, is I see so many people valuing and investing in what we have at Plexus. It's just awesome. Heidi?
Yes, I'm back.
I think, my girl, that you are the one that records, correct?
It is recording. We're good. We're good. We're recording.
Okay. Alrighty. So this book, you guys, is one of my favorite network marketing books. And when I was reading it again to do this, I read it, I think twice now, like since I started. And every time I read it, it's just, I'm underlining, but I keep giving my book away to a teammate, a new person. So I'm starting over again, underlining in this book. And what I love about Sarah Robbins is she's so practical. She is someone who gives you like literal step by step. She's just, here's how you do it. And what I find so nice about her is that she takes away excuses from any personality. And I say nice is because she's so nice about how she does it. But I would classify her, well, in her own words. Let's start on page 11, which is the first page, chapter 1. And she says, I am a formerly shy teacher by trade. Well, right there, we have correlated and connected with a lot of people who are like, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I'm just so shy. She said, I was a shy teacher by trade who was living in one of the more depressed economies in the country. Another thing that I've heard is our area is so poor, nobody has the money. Well, and I love, you know who else, who comes to mind who was living in a town that already had several jewels, a very small, basically one stoplight town, and is a diamond? Anybody know who that is? Sonia Dudley. So let's keep going. I had just moved, married, and began my brand new job teaching kindergarten. I was in my 20s. While I loved teaching, we were facing financial difficulties, paying bills with change. I was also facing the loss of my job in our first home. This caused me to look for extra income, and my search led me to network marketing. I found my company when it was a top-selling clinical brand in high-end department stores, and I began freelancing for the brand to teach my salary. During this time, our founders were looking for ways they could leverage their brand and bring it to the masses in today's social economy. Because everyone was online, they decided to go to social selling model, or what we would call network marketing. Her and her mom were the only two people initially. And what I love here, she said, we didn't have training or marketing materials. In fact, we didn't even have a compensation plan. That reminds me a lot about a lot of Sheila Medina and Coach Craven. When they started, they only had the breast check kit and basically nothing. They didn't even know the company model yet. All we had was our belief. We believed so strongly in the opportunity we were offering and the products we were promoting. From the outside looking in, it may not have appeared that we would have a very high survival rate, but today my mother and I are both 7-figure income earners within our company. They had nothing, and yet they were passionate. And so if you feel like you have nothing as far as knowing where you're starting right now, or you're like, I don't know anything, I just love these products, that is all you need to start. She said, through our persistence and commitment to personal and professional growth, we were able to establish a system and help others get off to a start. I was able to retire from my teaching so I could pursue my dream of starting a foundation for children. In 4 years, by the age of 29, I became our company's first 6-figure monthly income earner. And we've since mentored 6- and 7-figure annual income earners on our team. Many have earned free company cars or enjoying luxury trips to fabulous destinations around the world. I'm proud of what our profession has done for people. My greatest joy is that we are able to give. We offer freedom to those who are in this incredible business model. And we also give hope to those outside our opportunity who are now able to bless them with our time and resources. One thing that really stuck out to me here is, I know we've said it and I know we've heard it so many times, but can you tell me anything that someone with absolutely no former education can do in network marketing, and in a couple years be earning more than brain surgeons and scientists. There is nothing. When she started, she was shy in a depressed economy, not knowing jack squat. All she had was belief. And in 4 years, she was earning 6 figures a month. That is the beauty of network marketing. And that is what we need to have burned so deeply in our soul that nothing can shake it. Because there is nothing out there that offers this opportunity. Nothing. Now, this is where the next where kind of really stuck out to me. Success in network marketing didn't come easy for me. Who feels that way? You don't have to raise your hand. You just think it. But it's true. I have honestly, initially it was easy for me, quote, but I have been in a spell where it has not felt easy. Has anybody ever felt that way? That's just life, right? She said, I wasn't a fast learner. I failed forward quite a bit. But most important thing that I didn't quit, and I learned a lot. One of the things, and it's going to be in 2 pages from here, but I have to say it now because it keeps going over and over in my head. She talks about how they become a student. Now I want you guys to think of an analogy with me. You're a student that wants to become a nurse. So you sign up for college. You're so excited about becoming a nurse. But you're in school and you're starting out and you go to a couple classes and then you feel like, the classes aren't really worth it. You know why? I can do this. I can be a nurse. I've watched so many movies. I've watched people do this. And so you go to classes here and there. You have textbooks, but you only skim them every once in a while. You read maybe just enough to answer the questions. And you go to take the test and you fail. And you're like, this is kind of crazy. I bet you I just wasn't meant to be a nurse. And you go back and it's another semester term. You think, I'm going to give this another try. You go to maybe 1 in 10 classes. Again, you're skimming the book. You're basically reading the last chapter. And you're seeing a lot of other people, a lot of other nurses talking about, they've been, apprenticing. They're helping already. They're doing this. They're being successful. Others are graduating. You're like, network marketing just isn't for me. I mean, nursing just isn't for me. That is how a lot of people approach network marketing. They go in, they're excited because so many people can do it. They're passionate. They're going places, but they come to a place in time where they have to become students of what we do. And so I love how she's going to talk about this. Page number 13, failing forward. I recently had coffee with one of my mentors and friends, Leslie, who reminded me of my early days when I used to be one of the lowest earning leaders within the company. Leslie reminded me of the time she and I went to an Italian restaurant after an event. She recalled, I remember you crying over your pasta, wondering how you were ever going to make $3,000 per month in network marketing. And here you are today, making 6 figures per month. Sarah, when people ask you how you did it, I simply say one thing: she was coachable. And Leslie was right. When I started my business, success didn't come easy for me. I had many challenges and hurdles. Even from the starting gates, I was young. Underline, I was young. I was broke. Most of my network was young and broke, and I was shy. So there's a lot of young people that have the opportunity to rock this business. And one of the things that I hear from young people is like, nobody my age has money. Nobody, and then if you compound that with I'm shy, that would seem like, well, yeah, I can understand that. But instead, she didn't stop there. In fact, I remember approaching someone for the first time about my products at a cosmetic counter. My hands were shaking and my knees were knocking. I literally saw stars. I remember doing the network marketing verbal vomit all over her. She started staring at me like a deer in the headlights. I was so embarrassed. I ran out to my car, cried, and called my mom. When I asked my mom if I should go back, she says, no, don't go back there. Get out of there. So I put the pedal to the metal and cried the whole way home. I love this gangster mom and daughter group. I mean, like, just get out of there. But you know what? They were learning. And she said, I wondered how I would ever be able to succeed in the business of network marketing if I was afraid to talk to people. Yet, I didn't want to give up. I needed to earn extra money in case I lost my teaching job to school budgets. Although I was shy, I was coachable. I was willing to learn and plug into a proven system. I was committed. I wasn't going to give up until I surpassed my teaching income. There is so much there. If you just think of how many people quit where she was, made an absolute fool of herself In fact, her mother told you, get out of there, don't go back. She was learning, she was terrified, and yet she was committed. And so I love what she says, we plugged into the proven system. And they started doing good. People started ordering, and her mom, who's my upline, loved how good she was doing in all the sales because her mom was bringing in income to the point where her mom said, so one day my mom called and said to me, Sarah, this opportunity is so huge, let's not tell anyone. Let's keep this our little secret. We didn't have a fully executed compensation plan at the time, so we figured we would just continue to sell. How many of you know in a business of networking, that's the last thing you want to do? But being a good daughter, I said, okay, and committed to just selling products. Now, of course, that didn't last long. We eventually saw the light through reading books about our profession. We became students of the profession. I read many stories of top earners in our profession. I quickly learned that all of the 6- and 7-figure income leverage their time and increase their income by building a team, one simple shift. But go back to where she said, we became students of the profession. That is where it hit me this morning, just thinking over this, is that so very often we come in expecting to know, but we are like students in college for a profession that are skipping the classes, not reading the textbooks, not going to the lectures, not doing everything that you need to do to learn to become a nurse. You can't be giving people needles and being on a bedside and emergency in the ER room if you don't go to class. And so that's why it's so important. That's why we say over and over that this business is personal growth with a compensation plan. You have to commit to becoming a student of what you're doing. That doesn't mean you have to know before you start. She went out there with passion and belief, and she was making over $3,000 a month just selling with her belief. But she said she learned if she wanted to go further, she was going to have to become a student of the profession. And that's what she did. She said, we made the shift from product sales to power prospecting for the business. I watched my check going from a few $1,000s to more than $10,000 per month in just a few months. That's the power of prospecting. And she's going to talking about what we do when we start to share. Page number 15. Anybody have anything they want to share up to this point?
I just want to share where she says, hang on, let me just scroll right back up here. Oh, I'm on my phone. I don't have my book. Oh, goodness. Where she was, what were you just talking about, Jess, here? It was so good.
About becoming a student of the profession, or when her mom said, let's not tell.
Yeah. Oh, no, about the, where she said, they said, let's not tell anybody, let's just sell it. And right, so it made me right away think of, let's just get a whole bunch of customers. I've recently been hearing a lot of people throughout our team saying, like throughout Rock and Mama saying, I'm just going to get all customers because it's the fastest source of income. It is temporarily, but here's the thing, and it's good to have that balance, which is why you want to follow Consistency Club, because you always want a healthy balance. But long-term thinking, and if you really listen to Sarah in this book, it's building a team. That's where the honey pot is. That's where the residual income comes in, because your customers, they're going to order or not order. You'll get some consistent ones, and you want that, but you do need to focus on a team and not toss that aside feeling like that's too hard, or I don't know how to do it, or it's too much work, because that's where the long-term benefit comes from. Having that team, having the residual income. And like she said, we finally realized that growing a team was really where it was at, right? So that just really stood out to me big time. And I think it's something we need to revisit and remember that, yes, you do get quick bonuses when you get customers, but you don't want to just set your eyes there, and you don't want to direct your team that that's the only way, because that's going to set you up for later on for a lot of discouragement, because you're not going to have a team working with you. You're going to be chugging along on your own. Okay, let's keep going. That just really stood out to me.
I think it's true, because that's the mentality of $3,000 a month or her $10,000 a month. And you know what's so interesting? I'll just add a blurb to that too, Heidi, because I think, especially if you were at Super Saturday, if not, the Super Saturday replay is in your email now. That is the difference of just talking also about health versus business. You know what's so crazy? Since Super Saturday, I have not approached people with health. It's been all business, me and 3. And the results, I'm going for no, because I was challenging people. I want no's, but I'm not getting no's yet. And I know I'm going to get lots of no's when I hit, the cold market. But what is so interesting to me is that's basically, if we can't go the me and 3 with customers. We only can go the me and 3 and start projecting a real team with ambassadors. So I hardly ever have customers. I get them, but they graduate to ambassadors because they're plugged in and they're seeing the power of what they want, and they want that wholesale price then. So I agree with you, Heidi. So good it's a mentality shift too. It's thinking long-term vision versus short-term vision. So page number 15, finding success through prospecting. What is prospecting? Different dictionary versions define it as looking for gold. Prospecting is the process of talking to people in hopes that you will find some who are interested in joining you in promoting your products or services or in joining your business. In the process of these conversations, you'll sift through a lot of people. Amen. Then you'll have a lot of people join you who will work at varying paces. Keep in mind, it only takes a few power partners to change your life. That is your gold. And I want to interject here. Do you know that Kristen Abard has 6 level 1 diamonds? What happened was she found 6 runners. And so she said to she's at the point where her business is stable. The amount of work she has to put in is nothing like we have to put it anymore. She works absolutely. But what she found was 6 power partners, 6 level 1 diamonds. And I love what Sarah says in this. It's so gold. She says, remember, you may have to talk to a lot to find those few, much like sifting for gold. But if I told you that you had 3 bricks in your backyard of gold, would you continue to dig until you find them? If I told you there was 6 diamonds in your list, way down and scattered throughout, would you look at that list as daunting, or would you look at that list, the faster I can get to those diamonds, the better? That is a mentality. All the success in this business is mindset. Are you sifting and, oh my goodness, I've talked to so many people, I've got so many no's? Or you're like, oh my gosh, I am so close to that diamond. If I could just burn this list up till I found them, that is the difference in mindset. I am living proof of this concept. I've been sifting for a long time. I've probably talked to thousands of people since I started my business more than 5 years ago. I could actually say this exact words. I've had more than 100 people join me as business partners. Of that, I have about 30 people still working the business at a moderate pace out of 100. That compute there? Of those, I have 10 top leaders in our pay plan at this time. That's 10 out of 100. Of those, I have 3 people that account for the good majority of my income. 3 leaders, right?
3%.
That is where you have lots of people, and you can't get frustrated at those that are, like Kristen says, are there for milk and cookies. But you're going to have a small percentage that you invest so much of your time in that is going to take you to the top. What happened to the rest? As a teacher, I pride myself in education, but I quickly realized you can't motivate people who are unwilling to do what it takes to succeed. I want to put that on my wall because that is so true. You are there, you are available, but do not waste time on people who are not becoming a student on how to be a nurse, all right? If they're skipping classes, not reading their manuals, not going to lectures, don't invest time. You can invest time to a point, but they're going to have to pick up the ball. And when they're ready to pick up the ball and showing up in class, you're right there for them. So you may want it for themselves. Okay, they have to want it for themselves more than you want it for them. I can't take credit for people's success or failure. I'm only responsible to get them off for a great start. And I chuckled at this. People will work at varying paces. Some people order products, some occasionally promote it, and some even enter the witness protection program and disappear. Oh, I gotta chuckle at that. So it's a numbers game. And this is what we've talked a lot about in various chats. We talked about this on the way home from Super Saturday. It's a numbers game. Industry-wide, it's a numbers game. She talks about how they were met at a conference and a whole bunch of top networkers were sharing the percentages of how many people it talks to join, how many people, 80% of our income comes from anywhere between 1 to 3 leaders. Isn't that interesting? That's across so you keep sifting and you keep sifting. Onward to page 17, to cure what ails you in your business. And this has sounded harsh. I wanted to slap people that have told me this different times, and I just felt there was no answers. And I was stuck as Winnie the Pooh in his visit to Rabbit. But to cure what ails you in your business is your personal activity. Don't blame your progress or pace in your team. Take responsibility for your activity and respect their efforts and pace. It could be that you have a team that falls in that percentage of people that are just say they want it, but they're skipping class. Say they want it, but they're not showing up. Say they want it, but they're not doing the IPA. They're not sifting through that list. Let them go. Let them go. Never stop recruiting new customers and business partners. Never stop. Focus on daily activity to progress towards your success. My rule for myself, she said, is 5 contacts per day keeps leads coming my way. If I'm home, I'm making 5 calls on my personal contact list. I think in this team right now, we're doing like 20, 30 a day in the go for no. If I'm out, I'm handing out 5 business cards. I'm having conversations with people I meet. I'm not done my day until I've made those connections and have continued to work through my numbers, which in turns increases my odds for success. So guys, it has just hit me right now, even afresh. If you feel stuck, do not count on your current people. Go find someone else. Keep going. You are there, you mentor them, but you've got to find new people because it's a numbers game. There's going to be some that just are moderate and they're happy to be moderate. They're slowly plugging along, but they don't have the same vision maybe that you do to reach a goal by a certain time. Or they say they do, but they're not showing up for class. Your success is directly related to the degree to which you are willing to work to find others like yourself who are committed to succeeding. I'm going to read that again, okay? Read it slower. Your success is directly related. Your success is related to the degree to which you are willing to work to find others like yourself who are committed to succeeding. That's the degree of your success. How much are you willing to work towards it? Would you be willing to hear many no's to sign up 100 or more people until you strike gold? She says to sign up 100 or more people until you find gold. Are you willing? And then you find gold and find 3 major producers like I did. I think a lot of that is helped too. When you are targeting people, you are targeting people that you see are self-disciplined, are motivated, have a beautiful personality, who already are successful, even if it's just in life and being a positive, upbeat mom. Look for those people that are going to, that in your mind click with success or with discipline. Because a lot like Kristen's level 1 diamonds, Brenda, Wendy, Shelly, a lot of these people weren't business rock stars, but their personality was, I'm going to do it. I mean, you can't have 12 kids in a 2-bedroom house and not be amazing. Okay. You have your own set of odds and you won't know what they are until after you've succeeded. If you haven't achieved the level of success you desire yet, I haven't. I don't think anybody here has. You can give up and assume the business model doesn't work. But if you have seen success in your company, I assure you it does. I've definitely seen success, but I have goals that I want to get to. So I am going to be one of those that continue to dig for bricks. Or you can be a fatalist and think that it doesn't work and give up. But don't give up. That has led many on my team to earn 6 and 7 figures. It is my hope that you will implement these practices and sharpen your skills. And she has a free bonus video that is called Demystifying the Big Build. If you want to build big, she has a great link here. I can post it in the chat. So to me, there was just so much gold in there. You could read that over and over again. But we're going to get into some nuts and bolts that Heidi was messaging me this morning and saying, we need to go over this because this is so, so good. And she's going to go into the power of our profession. Does anybody have something they want to say first? Hey, Heidi girl.
All right. I love chapter 1. The reason for it is because it just refreshes exactly its numbers. Don't be reliant on your current team. I read in a different book once. I'm not saying don't be reliant on your current team. Work together like you are a team. Every single person counts. What I mean by that is we sometimes will get to a rank, say we get to gold or we get to senior gold, and then we fall into leadership mode and we stop recruiting and prospecting. I did this myself as a senior Ruby for almost a year when I ranked senior Ruby a couple of years ago. Because all of a sudden you're so busy with your team, you've got a few strong legs and you're going. Guess what I stopped doing? I'm like, oh, they're already to senior gold. They're already, like, they're going to keep going, right? And I started working together to help them. I stopped recruiting. Guess what happened? The surprising. You get a senior gold who all of a sudden now is making 5 points a month because they literally walked away. They were almost Ruby. That can happen at any time, right? That can happen at any time. So what happens is you direct all your comfort into, I've got it made. No, you have to keep building your own personal business, right? You might have it made. You might. You might. But you got to always never stop working your own personal business because A, you don't know. B, like Jess said, you can't motivate the ones that aren't motivated, and something might come up. Maybe like a tragedy comes up and they literally can't, right? So don't ever stop working your own business. In the last probably 6 to 8 months, I've really gone back to building my own business and also being there for my team, but I've had to really differentiate between what that looks like. And so part of being able to grow your own business is believing in what we have, truly, in this profession. So like in chapter 1, when she says, network marketing, there is, nothing like it. That is true. But until we actually get that and get past, we kind of say we believe, but there's many of us, if we're honest, there's still this lingering question, like, I don't know, I see it working for them, but I don't know if it's going to work for me. And, was it just something that went up and now it's not going to happen anymore? No, it does work. It's a proven business model. I did a live on this where we always hear, well, it's a pyramid or it's a scam or it's a this, or it's not like having a real job. It's not your real job. This is just a different business model, and it is a proven business model. It is proven, right? That's why you see people succeeding. That check in your bank account is not monopoly money. It's real, but it comes down to, are we willing to do it, right? So chapter 2, she talks about, I'm going to be looking down, so I'm going to be scrolling it on my Kindle reader here. She talks about the power of the profession, and we really need to grasp this. So after our Zoom today, really spend this week deciding, do I really, truly believe in this profession? Really, truly. So she says I'm just going to kind of skim read here, but essentially she's saying in this book, she's going to lay out the literal steps that she used. It doesn't matter if you're the first ambassador in your company or if you're the 100,000th ambassador in your company, the steps are still the same. And that's what's so beautiful about network marketing, is you don't have to have that degree and be at the top. You can come in as somebody's level 5 and you can surpass all those levels in rank because the steps are still the same. It's if you're willing to do it. So she says the book's going to talk about how to build a good, healthy, strong business, how to have the good mindset, how to have the belief, because all those pieces are pieces of the puzzle. So she says, there's a headline here, whatever you're dreaming, dream bigger. She says, I believe network marketing is one of the smartest business models on the planet. It's a model that takes ordinary people like me and helps them achieve extraordinary results. And she says how network marketing, where else can you accumulate the salary of 30 to 50 years in a career? So let's keep using nursing. But really in 3 to 5 in network marketing, you can make that same amount of money. If you're committed, if you believe, and if you're willing to actually do it. You can't do that anywhere else. You've got to climb the corporate rank. You've got to put in your hours, right? So she says, here's a few reasons why she's in love with this profession.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
We passed nurse's salary the first couple ranks. Honestly, we don't have the overhead. We don't have the stress. We don't have the nighttime jobs. We don't have any of that. All right, keep going.
I like to laugh when people make fun of it. If I tell, what do you do? Well, and you can see in their eyes, oh, you're one of those. And I don't splurt out numbers, but I would love to be like, do you know how much money I made last year? Like, they have no fuzzy hot clue. So don't ever let anyone discourage you. And I'm going to tell you guys, mine and Kurt's family are the worst of anybody. They're the most like critical, the most eyeballs. So we did finally tell them. And then now they're like, oh. So don't let anybody get you down. Just keep plowing forward. So she says it's a brilliant business model. Because instead of companies investing their money into celebrity endorsements, into advertising, into those massive billboards and commercials, they invest into us. Because we own other businesses as well. And my husband has never ever, we made business cards once. He's been doing this for 20 years. We've never advertised. Word of mouth advertising is the most trustworthy advertising that people will accept. If you've tried something and you've said, I've done this, it's like, I've used this mascara, I love it. What's the first question? Where did you get it? It's a trustworthy advice. So it only makes sense that it's an amazing business model. You don't need a college or university degree. You don't need a huge investment. So a lot of these, careers, you got to pay your education, and then you need to have like a investment startup of who knows what huge percent. And you don't need a brick and mortar store. You literally need your belief. You need to be able to do priorities, and you need belief. That's all you need. And what is it now? $39.95 US, right? That's all you need. She says network marketing, or actually the Direct Seller Association, so that's who we report to. They just passed their 100th anniversary. She says it is a proven business model and it ain't going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And so we can have trust in that. So she says, we get to choose the freedom of our time, the flexibility of it. You get to choose who you work with. One of the biggest complaints you hear of people in an occupation is complaining about their coworkers. They don't work as hard as me. I'm always picking up the slack. I don't like my boss, right? Everybody's always negative. It's all that stuff that we don't have to deal with because you're choosing your team. You're choosing who you talk to. And I've been a little bit selective of who I even let onto my team. And yes, I've turned a couple people away. Call me crazy, but you get to choose because it affects the whole culture of your team, right? So the freedom and the flexibility is huge. She says many people are surviving within multi-income households, losing valuable time with their family. Others are looking to earning extra potential because of the current economy, right? Sometimes the economy is unstable and people are always a little bit on edge. And so whether it's to save for an in-case situation or it's just to expand what they have, people are looking for that. She says you don't have to go back to school or take another full-time job. Network marketing allows you to choose a dream life over a dream job. All the while you're fully present in your family's life. We couldn't get over how amazing this was while we were in Mexico for 10 days. My business was still running. I had people filling in for me so that I could take a break. You guys have a team and you guys can do that too. When you walk away from your job, you can't do that, right? The paycheck stops unless you've accumulated some vacation pay. So financial opportunity is the second huge thing. She says, oh, hang on, sorry, I scrolled the wrong way. Fun and friendship. So you choose who you work with. You get to have fun doing it, and I've met some of my bestest friends that will be lifelong friends through the Plexus opportunity, and if that's not special, I don't know what is. I didn't come into Plexus thinking that I was going to find some of my absolute bestest friends. Julie and I, for example, met through a kids program that our boys were in, and Julie was volunteering at the time, and then we kind of like lost contact, and Plexus brought us together. Like, I don't know. It's amazing. Number 4, fabulous opportunities for personal and professional growth. All those classes we show up to, they help you in your Plexus business. We've got corporate coaches, you guys. If you're not in the Plexus Ambassador community, get in there today. We have corporate coaches giving you free training. They have so many systems in place. We've got our own leaders within Rock and Wellness. We're doing this thing together. It's not just for your business though, and that's what's amazing. Are you growing? Who here has grown as a person by being a part of Plexus? Because I sure have. Yeah, I have learned things about myself that I had no fuzzy hot clue about because I was trying to learn something to do the business better. So that's been really, really neat. I've learned about my personality. I've taken personality tests. I've done all sorts of stuff. And so you get the personal growth. Give this time to grow. Okay, we know that the business model is rock solid. I think it's often the time frame that we get frustrated in, right? We get frustrated in it's not going as fast as I thought it would or as fast as it did for Susie down the road. It's actually going way slower than for Susie down the road. What am I doing wrong? And we start to look at ourselves like, I guess this must not work for me. I guess I'm not going to be up to, and we don't even say it out loud. We're saying it quietly to ourselves. So listen to what are you telling yourself? So she says, throughout this book, I'm going to share how to make this work for you, but she wants to give some really proper expectations, and this is where our part comes in. She says we have to have realistic expectations that this is not a business that's going to develop overnight. Just like our products don't change bodies overnight. Do you want to laugh with me for a second? I say this in total respect. I had a new preferred customer last month. She has hot flashes. Tried the 7-day slim. Loved it. Kate, let's get on a combo. Right? All good. We talked. I talked till I was blue. This won't be an overnight thing, especially with hormones. You guys know where I'm going. I get a message in Mexico. It's been about 11 days since she started the products. 11, not 11 months, 11 days. Cancel my order, please. I got messaged 3 times. Is my order canceled? Nothing's changed with the hot flashes. It clearly is not working. I've tried so many things, and this is just another one of those. Okay, it's not an overnight thing. There's nothing I could say. Her order's off. There is nothing I could say because she isn't in the place where she is understanding and accepting. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, right? So I kind of giggled and chuckled. It's the same with the business. Well, 5 people said no. I guess I just don't know how to do this. I've talked to a lot more than 5 people and a lot more have said no. That's just part of it. You've got to grow a really thick skin in network marketing. Don't take it personally. They're just not ready. Or they don't have the right mindset. You're just sifting and sorting. That's it. She says, I want you to think as anyone would who's considering embarking on a new career, right? So it's like nursing. You got to go to school. You got to develop. She said, developing a substantial story in network marketing is no different. Success in network marketing requires personal and professional growth. It takes time to develop your talent. I want you to commit to a minimum of 5 years in this business. Okay? 5 years, that's like your learning stage. And if you get real lucky, a couple years in, you're going to already start making money. Not even a couple years in. Gosh, a couple weeks and we can make money. But what she's saying is before you're going to say network marketing doesn't work, you have to have given it a good solid 5 years of actually showing up to class. IPA sheets filled out and showing up to class. I can see right now exactly who's doing IPA in the Go for Note challenge because those screenshots are coming in fast and furious, right? If you're doing IPA, you're getting no's, I promise, because that's usually what happens first. And then those no's turn into yeses. So it's like, she says here, it's like the snowball. And I love this analogy. When you first start out, you've got a little tiny ball of snow and you're rolling it up the hill and a few people are joining you. And as you keep going up the hill, those snowballs getting heavier and heavier. And you got to be careful. Here's when the mindset starts saying, this is such hard work. I don't know if I can carry the weight. I feel like I'm the only one carrying the weight. I feel like no one else is doing anything. You're pushing the snowball. What happens if you let go when you're 3/4 of the way up? You're going to fall flat on your back and it's going to be hard to get back up because now your snowball's at the bottom of the hill. Now you got to push it up even further. If you can just hang on and if you can just keep pushing and pushing, you have no idea how close you are to the top. The top might be the next little cluster of snow. And when you hit the top and your snowball, the top is momentum, your snowball tips over the edge. And you guys have probably read this in this book. right? Your snowball tips over the edge. You have no idea when that moment's going to be. And it starts rolling fast and furious. And the snowball's getting bigger and bigger because the people are collecting and collecting and your team is expanding. Don't give up before the snowball tips over. I have no idea when that tip is going to be for you. I don't know when my own is going to be, but that is so essential. So she says, it rolls faster and faster downhill, collecting its own snow. This is when duplication happens and you begin earning more money than you have ever dreamed of in less time than most people would think it was possible. Isn't that an awesome line? More money than you've ever dreamed of in less time than most people think would even be possible. Here comes the brain surgeon income without the college degree, right? There's the excitement. There's momentum. We've all had momentum because we've all hit a rank. And that momentum will come again. Just keep showing up to class. Keep pushing your snowball. I love the story of the $50 million woman. Does someone want me to read it? Or do you want me to skim it? You want me to read it quickly? Okay. She says, one of the top leaders of my team is a woman by the name of Susie. Susie learned about our business from someone she had worked with briefly. On December 31st, she was introduced to me on a three-way call by her soon-to-be sponsor, who at the time was my personal partner. Susie immediately caught the vision and enrolled on New Year's Eve. What a way to toast to new beginnings. Unfortunately, Susie's sponsor got discouraged. She had only enrolled one person. She decided the business wasn't for her, and she quit. Have you ever had that happen on your team? Right? I hit silver, all three quit ordering, I'm done. I can't do this, it's not working, I'm discouraged, okay? They might all even be white lines, okay? A few years later, her team of one, who was Susie, grew into an incredible team that spans across the entire country. In fact, it's one of the fastest growing teams in our company. Many team members are driving beautiful free cars, earning amazing incentive trips, and increasing their income. In fact, Susie was recently recognized as $1 million circle achiever. That would be diamond for us. That would be the equivalent of diamond. I would say anytime she's talking about six-figure higher income here, we're talking about our jewel ranks. And we know that so many people are hitting our jewel ranks that they're totally attainable. She says, can you imagine if Susie's sponsor stuck out with the business? She started the business at about 30 years of age. After taxes, with conservative investments, not even taking into account organizational growth, she would have earned or could have earned about $50 million over time if she hadn't walked away. For this reason, I've referred to her in this industry events as the $50 million woman. Isn't that crazy? I might be seeing this play out right now on my own team, might. So stay tuned. Sometimes we walk away too soon because we're like, oh, they're not going fast enough. They say they want it and they're not doing anything. They're not showing up to class. They're not going fast enough. And then all of a sudden, guess what happens? That discouraged person finds a friend, right? Is that awesome? And then there's a whole rebirth of excitement. So don't quit, don't walk away. She said, I've read as many as 95% of those who remain in this industry for 10 years or longer. You guys ready to commit? Because we're at 10 years now. She says, reach the highest level of pay in their respective business. If you don't quit, you will hit jewel. So long as you keep building your team, showing up to classes, it's non-negotiable, you'll do it. If you don't quit before the time comes. She says, there's one thing I know for sure about success, and that is that it begins with a decision to be successful, a commitment to seeing it through, and that you just can't quit. Who's committed? I don't see everybody. Okay, we have to be committed. If we're not committed, you're going to have days where you don't feel committed and your sponsor is going to pick you up off the floor. They're going to pick you up like a kitty picks up her kitten and tell you to stand the heck back up if you've got a good sponsor, because they're not going to let you quit because they know you can do it, because you can. Okay, she says in this book, she's committed to our success. This book is going to provide the how-tos. So for next week, you want to get your people on this Zoom with you in this class, because she's going to actually go through how-tos, right? People that say, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to do. They need to be here, okay? We want them to be listening and learning. She says, simple, systematic training that will empower you to become a higher achiever in our profession. It's up to you, though, to implement what you learn. It's up to you to share this learning with your new team. And she says, it's my hope that you will gift a copy of this book to every single leader and to every new distributor who joins your business. This is a short little book with so much information and a lot of highlighting to be done. It's an easy reference. And for someone who comes to you, I think the books are cheap, guys. I don't even think they're $10. And Sarah, if you buy like 10 at a time, she even gives you a discount. So for new ambassadors that come to you and they say, I'm interested, I think I want to do this business, if they even give any sprinkling or inkling of interest, gift them this book. It's an investment into your business. It's a $10 investment that you're making in someone else. They may or may not fly with it, but at least you've given them the tools. Jess, do you want to say something?
I was just doing some math here and just thinking about the times that I have wanted to quit. I was telling someone when we got to Hawaii the first time, I think I cried for 3 days. I was just, it was excitement, but it was also, you get tired. You get tired in this business. There has been times where I told Dan I feel like a child, just lay across the bed and want to kick my feet and scream. I don't technically do that, but I do cry. And there's just that's human, and that is life. You go through times where you just do not feel like a leader. I went through a time like that this past year, and it's like, I don't know how to lead. I don't know jack squat about leading. Just let me tell you how to poop. Anyways, and so all those moments of self-doubt are so normal. I think I have them at least once a month, twice a month, sometimes a whole month. But I have an incredible good coach. I have a business coach and I also have a life coach. And she keeps redirecting me back into purpose. And a couple of things that I have learned this month is you need to clear your head space. Kristen said this. My coach last night, I had a 2-hour coaching with a life coach. And she said, you freeze in life when your focus is not on your vision and your purpose. And so she said, because I said, a lot of contests and that just frees me up. And she said, you need to take the contest and pray over each thing and see what it is that you have peace about reaching for. And she said, right now, if your vision and your purpose is to truly come alongside and help people, and Dan and I have a really bigger goal in front of it. She said, maybe you have the BSOB syndrome, big shiny object syndrome. And she says, you are freezing in life because your whole focus is on a $3,000 shopping spree, which would be nice. She said, but what if that's not what you're supposed to be doing right now? What if you are supposed to be focusing on this area and building into this area? We all have different visions. And so it was just a reminder of me to focus on where it is that we're supposed to be focusing on. And if you freeze up about something, that doesn't mean like if you're scared, quit. That just means if you feel like something immobilizes you, take a look at what is your vision and start pouring into people. And so instead of having your vision on a BSOB, BSOS, sorry. Oh my, I hope you're not recording. BS, big shiny object syndrome. This is like the worst moment.
It's just real. It's all authentic.
She's like, maybe your focus, she never tells me what to do, but she just asked me to reanalyze. Maybe your focus is, instead of focusing on the prize, focus on how many people can I come alongside and get to silver. Focus how many people can I coach on me in 3. And forget the BSOS. That's going to be there, and that blessing will come when you are doing what you're called to do. Everybody has a different calling. And so, because I was in a really rough mental spot last week. So anyways, I had to sit down, and while you were talking, Heidi, and I thought, okay, of the million times that I've thought about giving up, it's never, to me, honestly, it's never been a true possibility. But if I could, I would have quit 1,000 times, because it's pressure, it's life. And it's what the biggest thing I think is, it's learning. It is stretching, and you get so uncomfortable. But in doing this in 4 months' time, we have taken what we had made and times it by 5 on a yearly income. That's a conservative figure. And so what if we want financial freedom and we have dreams and goals and visions? There's nothing in life that you could do where you would times your yearly income conservatively by 5 in 4 years. Nothing. And so if you like, it's not the money, it's what the money can do from you and so do for you. And what it's done for our family and the opportunities it's opened has been life-changing. So there's times when I lay in the bed and want to kick my feet and scream and pull my hair out. They pass. It's just learning. It's growing. So
they pass.
This is my 2 cents as I thought about what you were saying.
They totally pass.
SOS. Okay, what were you saying?
Well, I'm going to add to this colorful language a little bit here because I'm reading Dare to Lead right now, and it was so funny because she said, "You guys, maybe we'll do that another time, and I won't talk about the whole book." But there's this part where she's meeting with rocket scientists, and she says, like, real ones, real rocket scientists. And they're like, I don't do vulnerability, you know, they're men, right? They're like numbers and science. And she says, is the hardest part of your job making sure that shit doesn't fall out of the sky? And he was quiet. And he's like, no. He's like, we've got systems in place for human error. Like, he's like, shit does not fall out of the sky. Okay, it doesn't happen. He's like, that, to him, that's the easy part. He said the hardest part of his job is leading a team. He says the people aspect of it, the leadership and the people aspect of it. And I was like, yeah, it's not hard to tell people about the products. Isn't it true that it's all the dynamics of our personalities and our leadership levels and the lids of our leadership? And that's where we're laying on the bed, like kicking and screaming like a little kid. But so much growth has come, right? Like, oh my gosh, I think we've grown more together than any other friendship and relationships I've ever grown in. I've been more vulnerable and honest with people in Plexus than I've ever been with my own family. And so it's just so amazing. I too have threatened to quit more times than I care to count, and Jess can attest to that. But it's all like false. It's so, like, I know that I would never quit. It's all, and she knows that. It's just all like whining like a baby, and I kick and scream for a little while. And then Jess or Rosanna, someone picks me back up and says, stand up right now. And because it's just all empty threats, right? It's okay to have those moments. Just stand the heck back up, because what we have is unbelievable. It's too good. It is too good. And I'm going to leave you with this. We just got back from Mexico last night. The worst day ever. It was -34 when I woke up this morning. But last night I tucked my little guy into bed. He's 6 years old, you guys. Because of Plexus, he's already been to 5 countries. He's 6. That's what Plexus is doing for families. Okay, we listed off. You've been to Belgium. The States, we've been to several times, but he's been to Puerto Vallarta, he's been to Punta Cana, he's been to Cancun. How many little 6-year-olds can say, right? And so the kids looked at me like, oh, wow, mommy, all that time you're working, like, they're starting to see what it's doing for us, and it's so much beyond, I mean, that. But that was really like, he's 6, and he's been to 5 countries because of network marketing. It is a rock solid compensation plan, right? We
Amen.
need to believe it. Yes, we need belief. Don't give up. Do not give up. We have everything we need. We just got to do it. And we can. Yes. Okay. Next week, same place.
We'll do far less words.
Yeah. It'll be PG. Let's plan for chapters 3 and 4, I would say, for sure. And we'll be ready with chapters 3 and 4, and we'll just see how it goes. If we don't quite get there, if we get a little bit further, if you want to read ahead, feel free. It's a really light read. And this week, maybe at the beginning next week, just kind of think about it a little bit, and kind of question, do I have that belief? Do I really truly believe in this? Do I believe in the people surrounding me, right? Do I believe in myself, and what this can do? Because once that clicks in, the rest honestly is a breeze. It's just the belief and that hesitation, and you tippy toe behind the line and over the line, and behind the line and over the line, right? Which side of the line are we going to be on? And once you make that decision, there ain't nothing going to stop you. It doesn't matter what kind of personality you have, because you'll just be so full of belief. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining.
And we will put up the recordings again. We'll put up the recordings again. Okay. Next week, Saturday at 9 Central.
Yeah.
See you guys.